breaking news. Let's go right up to Mike Lorber in Sky 5 over this high-speed chase. Mike?
This has been going on for about 20 minutes. We've been listening to the dispatch on Espern. This is a Hyundai SUV that, according to the Illinois State Police dispatch, is wanted for armed robbery earlier this day. This pursuit we heard on the Espern started off the Bishop Ford Freeway. That's 94. Went back and forth in Sibley, went down to the south suburbs, almost a collision about 3 minutes ago where this vehicle, as you can see, an extremely high rate of speed, turned around in Glenwood Dyer Road. Currently, this is northbound 394, and we are about a mile before I-80. This vehicle, I would say at this point, is exceeding about 100 miles an hour. There's a lot of interchanges here where this vehicle could go several directions. If they go east, they go towards Indiana. If they go west, they'll head towards the Tri-State Tollway, or they may continue northbound into the city, and it looks like that's their plan right now. So this has been ongoing again. This is a Hyundai, and they're saying from this point that this vehicle was wanted for armed robbery. Now it's heading towards the city, so we're northbound 394. As you can see, driving erratically here. This is the Bishop Ford. This is the beginning of the Bishop Ford Freeway, northbound as we get up towards about 167th Street. Again, a lot of vehicles behind this. This vehicle will eventually maybe head up towards the city, and a whole network is waiting for them. What typically happens here is the state police will notify other suburbs. For example, this is heading up towards Dalton, Calumet City. Those suburbs may enact their people here to try to catch this vehicle ahead.
He has come close several times and is weaving in and out of some of these semi-tractor trailers, heavy duty tailgating, and clearly going very, very quickly. That's got to be the major concern right now.
Did he exit?
I think that might have been
he just
took the right. Yeah, you're saying you got him right there.
Right. So we're heading at 130th Street. And here comes, this will be on a westbound 130th Street.
So now we're in the city of Chicago, on the streets of Chicago.
Something might come to a head here near 130th in Indiana. As you keep going, if you keep going westbound here, you'll eventually get back into the suburbs. You can see there's some road work here on 130th.
Oh, now he's going in the opposite direction.
We can't show you behind.
He's going the
Correct.
opposite
It
direction.
looks like he's going to try to turn here, almost hit another vehicle that's heading eastbound, and maybe trying to make a turn. What we can't show you behind this because Max has to stay on the SUV here. Again, that is a Hyundai that is wanted for armed robbery, according to Espern. Now we've got maybe about a half a dozen troopers with lights flashing here, going westbound at 130th. So we're coming up to that railroad interchange here. This is 130th in Indiana. You go underneath, and we'll have to turn either right or left here. You've got a lot of vehicles also that come north or south. This is a dangerous intersection as it is, so let's see what the vehicle does here. All right, so it's going to get northbound. This is on Indiana. The state police are right behind it as it has to navigate these turns. 3 blocks to 127th Street. We're west on 127th Street, and the police are close behind here. This is a busy intersection. 127th in Ashland here. We're by the expressway. Now we're crossing I-57, turning northbound here. Let's see if they jump on northbound I-57 towards the city here.
This is a very frightening situation, and at what point do you think there may be a shift in tactic here, Mike? I don't know. We don't know how far back they are because you can't change, and we don't want you to change the shot.
We've seen them gotten close a couple times, but you imagine a significant amount of coordination between the agencies here to try to communicate a possible path of where this person might go, even though there doesn't seem to appear to be any sort of plan.
What kind of strategies they have to use to try to be able to handle this situation? Because we have seen what happens when these chases go horribly wrong.
And in a crash. Yeah, and that's so often the case.
Exactly. Now we're on the Dan Ryan. So now they just went north on the Dan Ryan, and as we all know, a lot more traffic on the Dan Ryan. So now northbound, really again picking up that speed here. Northbound Dan Ryan, we're going to come up on 95th Street here. Now I can look ahead northbound. There is no traffic on the northbound Dan Ryan. There's the CTA red line at 95th Street. You'll see the vehicle come out on the other side of that. This is another area where this vehicle, a Hyundai that is wanted for armed robbery, can pick up a large amount of speed. And now we're exiting again here. Let's see, we are at 87th Street. So I believe they're exiting at 87th Street.
So you're getting into a residential area, and this is rush hour still, and who knows what the circumstances are. School is in session, so there are potentially schools nearby that could be part of the problem. There's no way for drivers and residents necessarily, unless they're watching television right now, to know what's going through their neighborhoods, and other drivers as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and I think these speed bumps are here because we're off of State Street here, and again, now the vehicle is heading eastbound, but those speed bumps are there because a lot of people take those as alternates for the Dan ride and tend to exceed the speed limit there. This is a residential area where speed limits are about 20 or 25 miles an hour. You've got a stop sign almost at every light here. Now the vehicle going northbound, so we're at about 600 east here, northbound, in a very residential area, and now we're parked. So the vehicle has pulled in front of a home here. We're about 2 blocks east of Martin Luther King here, and we're north of 83rd Street. Looks like somebody got out of the vehicle. What's that, Max? The cameraman's talking. Okay, so we've got one person that got out of the car that's behind that tree there, and we see in the center, and then one person that is still in the car. And we can just see what happens here, but what we don't see, and we talked about this before because we are in the city of Chicago, we didn't see those lights that we saw all throughout the expressway. We've been very focused on the Hyundai here that, again, was wanted for armed robbery. So the vehicle is parked here, and again, we're about 2 blocks east of Martin Luther King. Got back in the car here now, and just north of 83rd Street. And again, don't see any police moving in at this time. Let's see if the vehicle stays here or continues to move on.
Allison Rosati with Stefan Holt here. We want to thank Marion and Alex for their coverage. This is very surprising.
So the lights that we saw flashing on the expressway, and again, if you're just joining us here as the vehicle parks again, this one up and down 394 and up and down the Bishop Ford Freeway, there were lights the whole time. Those lights appear to be gone. Now there is a vehicle, let me count my streets here, that's coming off of 83rd Street as there's 2 people inside this vehicle. Get out there on the sidewalk. There are squads that are starting to come west on 83rd Street. So we are, let's see, I think we're about a block east of Martin Luther King. I do see squads, and again, we can't show you that shot here because...
Oh, they're splitting up. One person's going one direction, the other's going in the other.
Right, one person's gone in different directions here. There are squads moving in. So we're in an apartment complex here. This is the man that we saw get out of the vehicle. Again, this was a Hyundai that was wanted for armed robbery. The Illinois State Police Network, and there you go. There's a squad pulling up right now. And let's see if we have a foot chase here. I believe we're on 83rd Street, and I believe somebody is about to be taken into custody.
Remarkable, walking so casually down the street, looked like they were on a cell phone, and that Illinois State Police car just rolled up real fast and got out and told them to get back onto the sidewalk there. Watching another officer approach there.